Brotato. Is Maxi up the match? Ooh. Farmer run? Hey, Corbin. Is my spreadsheet like a blanket? I don't think so. It's not very warm. Which I feel is one of the primary traits of a blanket. Yo, I got three harvesting wave 1 with farmer. Here we go. I'm pretty sure you have to roll that. Okay. Thinking a bit more deliberately about shops. Yo, did anybody watch the cricket? Holy shit, the cricket was good. Bloody trouble, thanks for the years. I hope they have been overall good. So when I'm rolling, this is the spreadsheet I've been working on. We are not yet done. And I haven't handled a lot of the traits. But anyway. When we are rolling here, what are we looking for? Maybe bag? Broken Mouth is great if we're not going HP regen, which I don't think we do with so many consumables. I don't know if cake's worth grabbing or not. Charcoal, I think, is kind of premium. Coffee is just really good money value for what it does. I don't know about Claw Tree. Are we going for crit? Maybe. Coupon seems like a thing we would buy. Affected steroids seem like a thing I would buy. Fertilizer I would buy, even though I'm planning to get melee damage. Gentle Alien I definitely buy. Glasses are not terrible. Goat Skull is pretty good. I guess Hedgehog? I'm not sure. I don't really want the ranged damage, so probably not, but like maybe. It's a maybe. I don't know about landmines. I definitely want Lemonade as farmer. I think I want Lost Duck, but I'm not actually sure. That's something to think about more. Do you want to get luck going early? Lumberjack shirt, probably okay, as is tree. I don't think I'm taking Peaceful Bee. Propeller hat is another one where, like, maybe... I have no idea whether Scar is good or not, to be honest. I haven't worked out the XP gain value. God, this game's complicated. And weird food. Weird food's really good on farmer, and this one's really good. How many things did I just click? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 18. Just click 20 things out of 52 or something. If I roll 3 times, I'd expect to see one of these. Alright. It's a good initial vibe check. Trading's for 13 months. Fluffy Galling's for 20 months. Didn't you sub last month? You very well may have. So Hedgehog is one of the ones that I said was a maybe. It is very expensive, right? And if I don't want the ranged damage, it's not actually doing that much for me. I think given that I'm getting probably 2 more rolls here, I don't lock it. Gentle Alien, I am fairly confident is like extremely premium. So now the question is, do I just buy Gentle Alien or do I roll for more pruners? I think I roll for more pruners. But I can lock this. And I can lock that. I buy this and then this. 5% lower price is only like 1 material, so I'm a bit short. Alright, so I buy pruner. And a roll here shows me 2 weapons still, because I have 2 non-weapons locked and stores are guaranteed to have weapons on them. And that's my first shop phase. I feel like that's like, yeah, that felt about right. That felt decent. Have I gotten any new magic cards? Not since I went to the PPR with Loading Ready Run, which was a ton of fun. So I'll have the cards that I used there. Actually, yeah. Because I also went to a Command Fest in Bellevue and bought a like Recon Commander desk for that. But that was before. I have no idea. Scared sausage. It's so cheap, right? It does deal a little bit of damage. Why is anybody else noticing that like this text is a little bit shortened? That's kind of weird. I think I fixed it. Alright. Our options are Harvesting, Luck, Max HP, and Crit Chance. I don't feel like I'm meant to take Harvesting on Farming. I have a tremendous amount of Harvesting already. I could take Max HP, I could take a Luck. The thing is, I just looked at the common items and a lot of them are very good. I have a theory in this game that I haven't like fully investigated yet, but my current hypothesis is that the blue items just aren't that great unless you are very specifically ranged damage. I think there are a couple of really good ranged damage blue items. But I think other than that, the blue items are not that great. So I think you probably want to go like straight from whites to purples, which means you don't really want luck immediately. You want luck kind of around about wave 5 is when you want to start bringing it in. My current belief. I have no proof of this theory. I've just been like noticing things and it sounds about right. The way that the store works in Brotato is I'm just pulling this directly off the wiki. So one thing about it is rerolls go up in cost. So that's the cost for rerolls. Per wave. So it gets harder to find things as time goes on, which makes me feel like I should be looking for the good white stat items early while rerolls are cheap and not bothering like locking blues and stuff like that. And then rarity is like this. And So this means that on wave 3 it has 0% chance per wave. Wait, that's just wrong. What? Oh, these need to shift over one. This means on wave 3 we have a 0% chance to find purples, and then on wave 4 we have a 2%, and on wave 5 we have a 4%. If I had 100 luck, on wave 5, 4, so on wave 10 I'd be at 14. So with 100 luck you max out on purple chance on wave 9, because it cannot go above 25% chance. And rerolls cost... I feel like around about wave 5 it makes sense to go for a lot of luck if you're looking for purples for your build, but you're not necessarily caring about purples. Like, it's possible that your build just doesn't really care that much about them. Thanks for the raid, Squirrel Loot. Hey Sharkaside, hey Storm Dulu, hey Jimmy Jangles. So I think the point that I was making was that I don't really think luck is that important here. I wonder if I can just go max HP. What did I lock? I locked coupon and more enemies. Why do I want more enemies as farmer? I probably don't want more enemies as farmer, actually. This is 52. I'm gonna unlock that. I think it was a mistake to lock it. The thing is, the reason for more enemies being really strong is that it gives you more economy, but farmer has a trait where I get minus 50% materials dropped from enemies. Which is kind of worse. It's very hard to buy coupon early. It just kind of costs a lot. I can't buy it here. And I think with it being a wave 3 shop, I get 2 more weapons on a roll, so I do this. I think I do lock Lost Duck. I think I'm happy to buy that. So I have some melee damage, some max HP, my harvesting's going. Alright. Hey DJ Big Slice! It doesn't really matter if I'm failing to kill enemies on a farmer. It's much less of a big deal than it is on other characters. I'm not even bothering to pick up the materials, really. I think I maybe do want 8 harvesting. I'm going to try just not taking harvesting from level ups, since I'm getting so much of it from other things. And focus my level ups on the stats that I think I need to survive. So I think melee damage is very important right now. And I do want to get into luck. We're getting into wave 4 here, and I want to start having luck around wave 5. So let's do that. I think it's time to buy the coupon. Buy. Let's roll and lock you. And that's okay. I don't need lifesteal. Rolls are so cheap. I think it's worth it to roll again. Okay. Cool. This game meet or exceed my expectations? I didn't really have expectations for this game. I assumed I would be a potato and I would get to run around killing things. And that has definitely happened. The game is like partially what you make of it. I guess the controls feel good, the art is pretty good, the balance is interesting. Even when things are like super strong, it's still interesting the way that they're strong. So I guess what I'm saying is that it's good. It's a good game. I suspect that damage is just right here. I can't imagine rolling being worth it. Like, I think melee damage is a bit better than damage percentage here. Should we do the math on that? Let's do the math on that real quick. And by real quick, I don't necessarily mean real quick. So if I have a base damage and a base damage percent, and these are both inputs I'm allowed to set. Currently, the base damage of this is 12, and the base damage of that is 17. We can work out the value of more damage versus more base damage. So +1 base would equal an increase of that +1 divided by that. And wait, is damage 8% when it's uncommon? It is, isn't it? Some of them double and some of them don't. It's so weird. Wait, engineering goes to 3? What the fuck? UX papers. Hey, Alfbao. If we go plus 5% damage, we'll say, that would equal an increase of that plus 5 divided by that. I realized grander designs for this spreadsheet. So what percents of damage can you increase? I don't even remember. Let's go from 1 to 10. You can use F4 to lock a cell reference. I don't actually have an F4 button on my keyboard. But that is a cool trick. I can make one, but it's like some combination of things to achieve that. It's too much work. How does this generalize? We just lock C3. And this needs to be that. All right. So if I could roll into melee damage right now, I'd be getting 33% instead of 8%. Which feels like it has to be worth a roll. I can't imagine that not being worth a roll. I guess we could also look at this column, right? So if we lock 2 in this formula and lock 2 in that formula. Oop. Ah, get out of the way. So rolling for 4 is much less relevant for this. Huh. Okay, I think I don't roll for 4 then, because I'm going to level them up to 2 pretty quickly. That's really interesting to me. I would have assumed that rolling for 4 was right. But I think if I just level the pruners to 2, we're already at a point where base damage is currently outperforming, or base damage percentage is currently slightly outperforming flat damage. I think I can find flat damage more easily in shops. I think it's slightly more common among things I want to buy. Graham, thanks for the 46 months. Appreciate it. About 3 weeks ago, you lost a Reddit bet, and the loser had to pay $50 to the winner's choice of charity. You mentioned this on why you donated to the charity, and then they mailed you a letter both thanking you for the donation and giving condolences for the lost bet. I am both happy to hear that and sorry for your lots. I suppose that attack speed ends up being exactly the same calculation as base damage, doesn't it? Well, I didn't calculate cost effectiveness of miscellaneous. Column Masta and Dynamite is miscellaneous. Is multiplicative with damage percent? Sure, but damage percentage is a constant if I'm adjusting attack speed. So I mean, 10% attack speed must be very good here, I guess is what I'm getting at. For now, we can just say 10% attack speed is very good here. I think that prioritizing my deeps is probably better than prioritizing my HP. All right, and shopping, that one, that one, that one, and we roll. That was an easy shop. This shop's a bit trickier. Do I want a head injury? I don't think so, because I am currently having no range. I am very confident that I want to buy cake, though. I am moderately confident that I want to buy cake, and then I want to stop rolling. Is an 8 gold shop, though? That's pretty cheap. It's hard to get an 8 gold shop. Like, starting next wave, it's going to be 7 just for the first reroll. And that's the last time that I have a chance to get an 8 gold shop in the entire run. So maybe I do take an 8 gold shop. What if I took an 8 gold shop instead of buying cake? I don't like that. What if I locked cake and took an 8 gold shop? That would be fucking weird. That would be weird as hell. But it guarantees that I can spend my gold well, and I get 3 items at a cheap price. 3 looks at an item at a cheap price. If I roll without locking cake, there's a decent chance that I have to roll again to spend my money well this round. Or I could just, like, not spend my money. That's interesting. I have no idea. Alright, so I did roll, and I ended up hitting 2 things that I want to lock, which I think is, like, I think it's not that bad. So I lose half of my next store. But if I could guarantee that 2 of my items in a shop were things I wanted to buy, would I be willing to pay 8 gold for that? I feel like it. Like, if instead of rolling for 7 and seeing a random shop, I could roll for 15 and see a shop that was guaranteed 2 items that were purchases, I would choose to roll for 15 at the moment. So yeah, I think that's good. Hey, Lockjaw Jones. Alright, 0 damage wave gives me a billion more harvesting. Blood Leech is a bit of an interesting item. The thing is, I really want to sustain by just picking up the stuff from my gardens, right? But can you say no to this when it is offered right now? You just got the game to play in your Steam Deck. Am I happy now? I am. I was happy before too, but I'm happy now as well. You feel like the logic behind locking an item is similar to buying a champion TFT that puts you below an interest threshold, but then again, you're bad at both games. I don't know what that logic is. I haven't played TFT enough recently. -6 harvesting. Let's bring this back and look at harvesting real quick. Oops. Does current harvesting matter? I guess it does a little bit because of weird rounding things. Hey, Fiona. Harvesting progression. So say I have 5 harvesting here. The way that harvesting progresses is we want fuck. How does negative harvesting progress? It doesn't at all, right? The heal will potentially give a plus harvesting from the Brotato modifier. Definitely true. If I get hit, yeah. Definitely true. Although it's really not very much healing. I don't know if negative harvesting changes at all. I'll just make a note here. Negative harvesting isn't currently considered. I probably want an input for harvesting compounding, which by default would be that doesn't make sense. But farmer has 8% harvesting compounding. Okay. And so this ends up being equals this times 1 plus that. But it's at... So if that is greater than 0, it's the maximum of that and 1. And otherwise, it's 0, I think. Whoops. Otherwise, it's C5, I think. What's the problem? If thing, then thing. Otherwise, thing. Logical expression, value if true. I missed a parenthesis. Wait, did I? No, I didn't. Max of that. What does it actually say? It looks like your formula is missing one or more open parentheses. If there we go. But it's still wrong. If that's more than 1, we take the maximum or 1 plus that. All right, there we go. And oh my god. Oh my god. Oh fuck. This is getting miserable. Best Beast Killer, thanks for 10 months. Appreciate it. I want to be able to write in here and you harvesting. But I want this to populate down. And this has ended up being a thing, so we need to also in here, this has to be, probably like truncate or something. I don't know what the name of the formula is for truncates a number. Oh, 0. SBR thinks the 40 months. Maybe easier to have an input field for current harvesting and wave number rather than 20 input fields. Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably correct. That's one of the things that gets solved with exponents. Well, there's weird rounding stuff going on, so not exactly. So currently I have 139 harvesting on wave 5, which seems obscene. So it's going to 428 already. And if I increase that by 6, yeah, I didn't do this right. I think we just take the fucking item. Also, if I decrease it by 6, I think we just take the item. I think that's what I've decided. We'll come back to that. Not done. That'd be a fun one to spend some time on, though. 9% speed every time. Very happy about that. Feels like it justifies the luck. So 8 harvesting is... like, that's a good price to pay for it. However, I have 133 already. I think I'm good with rolling instead. Do I roll here for a better look at a shop? The map's a little different. This one costs 9. There's far less chance I can actually buy something that I roll into because of inflation. If I do hit something, though, I think I do, because if I do hit something, it doesn't end up being subject to inflation. The other thing I was going to say, though, is it's much more likely to block a purple to luck here, which is a much larger cost. I don't think I lock hedgehog. All right. Can I even remember how to move in this game? Was that wave? That was wave 6. Gosh, there's so much stuff. So I do have range locked in the shop. I think I do want range, and I take that and I don't have to buy it anymore, in my opinion. I'm pretty happy with luck at this point. We take more luck, we buy this pruner. I don't think we're taking duct tape. I didn't unlock this. That is a mistake. I roll again. This is the problem, I suppose, with taking HP regen, is that all of a sudden something like this has a downside. That said, I'm still pretty happy to buy it. I want to pay 15 gold for a shop that's missing a slot. Or just wait. I think I just wait. I should be strong enough for wave 7 with 9% speed. Yeah, pruners are what's spawning all of the gardens on the map. It seems very, like, unfair that even after thinking so long in my shops and making, like, only one massive error so far, I still have to actually dodge the enemies and stuff. Like, I still have to play the game. Surely I should just win without having to do that now. Okay, well, I'm going to minus HP regen when I buy the thing anyway, so I might as well take this. Seems like a good price. I can start thinking about armor. Attack speed seems very good, though. I think I have enough max HP that I'm not dying super hard on wave 8. Let me take this. Alright. For some reason I have 5% crit chance. I don't even know where that came from. Oh, I just bought it. Okay. That probably makes metal not worth buying. It's weird because I kind of want all the stats, but even wanting all the stats, metal is still kind of an expensive purchase. And I am losing damage from minus crit chance right now, so the downside is a relevant thing. I don't really know. I don't know. I think I will buy it. I just want all of the stats. And we don't really want crit. buying the rocket launcher good here? I have no idea. I'm not going to. I'm not going to buy the rocket launcher or the potato thrower because I'm going to try to win with pruners. I haven't really thought about when the right time is to swap into other weapons yet. I think Lost Duck seems obviously right. I think combining these is pretty right, and I think rolling with the intention of locking some shops is fine, and I think buying helmet's okay. I think helmet is an okay item when you have excess speed and want some more survivability, which is where I'm at right now. Take elemental damage. I've really been thinking about taking elemental damage for the sausage that I got early. Which is probably, like, it's probably too much to try to go into elemental damage stuff just because of that. What's my opinion of the charisma stat in the game? There's a charisma stat in the game? I don't think there's a charisma stat in the game. 4 melee damage. I think it's fine. Where are these at? 25. They only go up by 80%. Maybe it's not actually good. It seems better than rolling when I'm seeing purples in shops. Speaking of purples. Shady Potion's a very, very efficient way to get luck. I am, with a Shady Potion, I think I'm maxed on purples in shops next wave already. So I'm kind of hitting the top of where luck actually has value. Is it possible to determine if a run is possible / impossible? They're all possible. Simply take 1% dodge. Forehead. We all love wave 9 here. I was actually thinking about getting into wave 14. Maybe wave 14 will be my new favorite wave. Unexpected pineapple links to the 32 months. There's no way I meant to take mutation. I'm sure I meant to take incendiary turret though. I could take 4 engineering for it. It feels a little goofy. 45 range I think is more than I actually need / want. With 35% attack speed. It's like a 7% effective damage increase. Okay. 12% damage with only 8% damage modifier so far. Seems like an easy take. Don't want that, don't want that. I can take Warrior Helmet, but I was enjoying having 10% speed. I haven't looked at the gold efficiency of purple items yet. I think that one's okay to take, and then we just look for more speed somewhere. And I think speed is crucial enough that we take a compass, even though it's not like the best stats for us. Could take boxing glove, sure. I will take boxing glove. Vibrator, thanks for the 17 months. You don't get to watch as often as you'd like anymore. Well, I'm glad you got to stop by tonight. Hope life is treating you okay. One of the interesting things with HP regen is that the first point of HP regen is actually better than all the other points of HP regen in terms of like how much health per second it gives you. I definitely take white flag as farmer. Yeah, 100%. I think another 10% attack speed is fine. And another 12% damage. Wisdom is excellent. Missile is not worth the price. Pruner, I think, is probably fine, although I don't actually know. Vigilante ring seems very good. So I've hit some good purples. This is the goal. I think I will roll one more time. Rip and tear. Like I think it's pretty good with what I'm doing and who I am. Maybe I could find multiples. There's a way to clear waves pretty well. I'm also, like, now that I'm thinking more about the luck stat, I'm realizing, unless I want to try to make reds with it, which is just not, it's hard to make reds reliably. Like, buying alien magic doesn't seem terrible. Doesn't give me HP regen. It's just very expensive max HP, I guess. I guess I'll just lock Rip and Tear. I never got more HP from consumables. Jesus. Ow. But I didn't die. I would certainly take wheat, and it works nicely with the Rip and Tear I'm about to purchase. I wonder if it is lifesteal. What does that even say? Your attacks have a 2% chance to heal you for 1 HP. What does that even mean? Don't know. Goat Skull seems especially good now that I have Rip and Tear, because Rip and Tear goes off flat melee damage. This stuff's pretty bad. That's a whole bunch more speed. Again, we're giving up the luck for reds. But I think that's probably okay around about now. I don't currently have any dodge anyway, but I think that's probably just too much to spend. Leather vest is a pretty gold efficient item once we're at enough max HP to care about the armor, which like really close. There's also wings here. Okay, we'll buy the wings, lock the leather vest. Oh, it's a lot of work, Betty. It's a lot of work. Wookie, thanks for 20 months. You wish the game tracked lifesteal / regen stats like it does for some of the items. Also, you could see how much health had been healed by them. That'll be interesting to see for sure. I wonder if having taken white flag already made the rip and tear purchase bad. It felt kind of close, and white flag is definitely a big negative for it. I don't think there's a horde, unless it's like a wave 18 horde, in which case I had a while before it happened anyway. Lifesteal's such a strange stat to me. It feels like if you have specifically like an SMG, it's great, and otherwise, eh? I think probably I'm close to good on damage already. And my damage upgrades from here are going to be... I mean, I have Vigilante Ring ticking and I have Wisdom, right? And I'll buy another Riff and Tear if I see it. So I think I take Armor now. I think we start going for defensive stats. More luck. Don't know if I care. It's actually, like, okay pricing for just melee damage, even if the dodge thing never procs. I'll take it. I think Ugly Tooth is fine to buy. I probably want Weird Food, even though it's costing me 2% dodge. And Baby Elephant. Materials don't drop as often for me, so maybe not. Crit chance? No, I'm at negative at the moment. No, 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 no. Pretty happy to take a charcoal still. Still an okay price. I'm not really thinking about switching weapons, which I guess is... I definitely should be thinking about switching weapons, but I'm more spending energy trying to work out what are the right things to buy to win with just pruners. Alright, got 3 crates, look at that. I'm still taking wheats. Yeah, I think Cyclops Form is fine here. Don't need the range super much. No. This might be a roll. This might also be a roll. I'll take 6% dodge though. Attack speed, sure. Tentacle with negative crit chance, probably not. More life steal? Okay. Probably a bit too late for recycling machine. This is kind of cheap lifesteal. And this is fine. And this is okay. Am I at the point where I can just stand still in the middle yet? We all love wave 14 here. Where were the trees? I feel like there were no trees there. Yeah, I can take little muscly dude. Range isn't that important to me. I can take more armor, and I think I do happily. I can probably take another Cyclops worm. Alloy. I think rather than losing my dodge, I can just take a riposte. No leather vest. There's a large rocket launcher. There's an oddly hectic gardening simulator. It certainly is. I'm going to take this rocket launcher. That's just a bit too big for me not to take. Like, it was red and everything. I only have 2 range damage, but I have a bunch of attack speed. This is actually what gardening is meant to be like. If your gardening doesn't feel like this, you're just not trying hard enough. I should water my plant. Why did nobody in chat tell me to water my plant? But I was trusting you. I think I need slightly more range than this. Only backseat game. Don't backseat garden. Well, I'm gonna take more range now. I started to feel that that wasn't enough range. This is okay, but I'm not gonna buy it. Seems a bit expensive, I don't know. I think I can still buy cakes. It's just a pretty good item. Alienize is also just a pretty good item. I'm done. I might have enough harvesting, you're not sure. Wow, the game does get easier when you have a weapon that isn't pruners. That's kind of novel. Determines how often the rocket launcher shoots. Doesn't seem to be constant. I think sometimes it's like retargeting, which takes time. There's actually a decent amount of trying to minimize the time your weapons spend retargeting in this game if you like truly want to maximize it. $12K on the first one of these so far. Let's take another one. Yo, Arvius, thanks for the raid. Pretty sure I like speed. I will take enemy minus speed. Because if I like speed, then I must like them not having speed. Take melee damage and range damage now that I want both. Take some armor. Also, like, rolls are starting to get pretty expensive. If any of you have not seen Brotato yet, people joining from Arvius' stream, this game is great. You are a potato, you have 6 guns. And if that isn't a big enough sell, I don't even, like, what more could you want from life? It's not going to get much better than that, okay? I'm definitely not the best at this wave. That elite is hard for me to hit with my pruners. But I don't have to kill it, I just have to survive. And honestly, I'm getting kind of close to killing it. Okay. Makes it look like your weapons are hesitating, can make melee miss. Attack speed, but things can move out of range. Ooh, power generator is really good with 30% speed. Take that for sure. This looks like a roll and attack speed. We can take improved tools. Just the attack speeds are great. And then we do have some structures too. In fact, we have a lot of structures because all of the gardens are structures. So now my gardens are making way more fruit. Black belt, because I don't really need the luck anymore, I guess. And the melee damage is still relevant. Or rip and tear. I'll take a tree for more thingamajigs. I don't think I need more range. Actually, like, I don't know, getting to like 200 range against the bosses might be okay. I think we can find something better. Like 5 health. 5 health is actually pretty good still. An explosive turret? I think so. Right. I'm the only person who can make you go, ooh, spreadsheets. Nice. I wonder if, so instinctually, I would think that when I had this many gardens, I obviously want more health from consumables. But in practice this run, I feel like that money would have just kind of been wasted, especially early. Because I'm thinking about which items would I like to say are good purchases wave 1, and I'm not actually sure that those are. Minus 6% dodge, but we get 12% damage and 12% attack speed? Okay. Can lose a little bit of range for some more percent damage. So many lost ducks. Take a medical turret, why not? Oh, that's why not, I guess. Oh well. Unlock it for next wave. Thunderblade is such a broken weapon. Too bad I have negative infinity elemental damage. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be the case with most things that queue off elemental, with how I'm currently playing at least. That thing would be really strong if it weren't not strong right now. Do you only get experience from what you actually pick up in the round? You do have to pick stuff up to benefit from it that round, but if you don't pick it up, it's kind of stored for next round. So you'll get it eventually. Well, except at the end of the game, when you will not get it eventually. Alright. Just do some dodging. I am plenty tanky, I would say. Maybe this rocket launcher will even kill them, but I kind of doubt it. I'm not planning to go close enough to hit them with pruners. There's just not really any reason to. Wisdom is really good damage toward the end of waves. Oh, look how fast that dies. Wow. Alright, cool. Run 1. What are the notes from this run? Does Extra Stomach have a really low drop rate? It's just a red item. Red items have pretty low drop rates. Have I tried pushing endless mode at all? I played like one endless run to get all the unlocks, but other than that I haven't played it at all. And I didn't actually finish the endless run I did either. Farmer. Harvesting. Harvesting increases by an additional 3% every wave. +1 harvesting when picking up consumable while at max health. -50%. Materials dropped. Jorb's strategy guides for every potato. Do I plan on trying to push Endless? I feel like Endless is a lot. Like, it's about building particular combos of things, right? It doesn't feel like it has as much You spend a lot of time in a part of the game where the strategic space has narrowed tremendously. So generally, I prefer just spending my time in the part of the game where the strategic space is open. Like, often by the time I reach wave 20, I was already done with the game 4 waves ago. So, like, I don't know, maybe I'll do that at some point, but it could be fun, I guess, to start from scratch and try to work out what the strongest builds are, but there is 0% chance I could do that on stream. 1,000,000% chance people in chat would spoil it and I wouldn't get to do that. At which point, like, what is even the point? I'm just, like, doing stuff that other people are telling me to do, and it's taking a long time. Like, doesn't sound like that much fun. Star pruners roll heavily for 6 times pruner early. And combat stats for early for surviving waves 7 to 14 by some sort of sweet weapon. And win easily from there. I think this is essentially how I'm playing Farmer. Current questions. When is the right time to buy new weapons? Luck items, currently thinking no capping. Luck at whatever gets me max chance purples. Which is like 65% or so. What other questions do I have? It's so hard to like analyze what is difficult about a character after you want to run very easily with it. It's like, just do this over, it's fine. Cool. I guess I could note what combat stats I'm looking for. So like speed 9%, range 60. Enough HP to survive 3 hits from charges and the rest damage. Enough EHP. Rotate isn't the name of the game and potato is not. How much damage did rocket launcher do last wave? 46,000. So probably a pretty good pickup then, yeah. Alright. Win streak of 1. Lich. What if no pruners? Well, pruner is like a starting item, and you get a massive boost to shops, giving you your current weapon. So you just roll until you get pruners. It's like you're expected to find 4 on wave 1 or something. It's not like not finding pruners is really something that can happen, I don't think. I'm gonna fill up my glass of water. I will be right back. What if you tried not running pruners? Yeah, I will go for random weapons on characters once I get to a point where I'm winning without doing that. But I don't think I'm at that point yet. There's some analysis to do still. Lich does not deal damage if at full health already. But very, very transparently, like my belief in this game about basically every character that has a ton of bonus strength starting, which 10 HP regen and 10% lifesteal definitely is that you just go ghost weapons and win every time. Like that's just enough to get you to the point where the ghost weapons outscale the game. So, my win on Lich was with Ghost Shiv, and I'm gonna go Ghost Shiv again. And I'm going to assume that this goes pretty easily. But there are a lot of questions that I have about how exactly to play this still, for sure. Bring Fizz, thanks for the 19 months. Okay. We've won. Is there any chance I should be rolling for harvesting? Yes, Belak. I think I can just take armor. Armor is non-terrible. Gosh, it's so cheap too. 14. That's so cheap. I don't think I have to lock this yet. I think I do lock that. It's also kind of a cheap helmet. I don't think I need more than 2 of these, so let's get more stats. Is Lich damage random enemy based on max health? It is. It scales off max HP. Looks like it is exactly max HP. Even. Let's go for defensive stats because I'm still planning to spend all of my money on rolling for ghost weapons, basically. Your economy is a lot worse when you don't have like 300 harvesting. Weird. What happens when you combine scaled ghost weapons? It's a permanent upgrade. When a ghost weapon gives you stats, you can sell it, you can combine it, you cannot get rid of the upgrade, even if you try. Now it's starting to feel like I need range and speed and attack speed and stuff. I will take 5 harvesting. Let's take the defective steroids. Let's lock the lost duck because it's about time where I start wanting that. Let's take a ghost axe. I will buy a coffee. This game looks very fun. This game is very fun. I don't feel like my level ups have been incredible. Let's take 30 range, which I think I need. That one, that one. And this one, and lock the ghost axe. Gross. Probably have enough attack speed to take that. Incendiary turret I'm gonna pass on. I'll take speed, losing range. I think that's fine. Pretty happy to buy a Ghost Scepter 3 as well. And we are a potato. Isn't it great? I don't have much respect for the game on Lich, I think. Maybe I should be respecting the game more. Yeah, not gonna do that. Luck feels, yeah, we're about at that time. I think I do roll this. 9% dodge seems good. By you. Riposte is good. The flat damage has extra value at the moment. Ghost Flint also good. Go riposte first and lock this. How do I resist the peg? I have 6 ghost weapons. I don't really feel the need to invest in scaling other than having 6 ghost weapons going. I think that should probably be enough. Okay, happily roll this, and we happily take... Ooh, those are both good. I think the armor, and I can find speed some other way. Grab that, grab this. I shouldn't really need a guard. It's so strong, though. Garden's really powerful because you just kind of can leave it there, and then if you ever take a lot of damage, you can run to it, and you get a huge chunk of healing. Holy shit. That wasn't fun. I need melee damage pretty clearly. I don't think I can buy a helmet right now, because I think I need speed. Bit too early for Finn. Ally when I'm using dodge though. Buy a butterfly. Okay. 10% damage, minus 6% attack speed seems okay. 3 max HP seems okay. I need this speed really bad, so glad to have it. And some more range is okay, some more flat melee is okay. Some more dodge is okay. Let's just cap out dodge. Probably strong enough. I think Claw Tree and Cake are a good purchase together. I think Tentacle's okay. I'll take it. Defective Steroids is good. Combine these. Buy a white ghost axe. I can take bait. Probably can't take bait and weird ghost at the same time. And I can take Claw Tree. My luck's a bit low. I could luck Propeller Hat for that to try to get my purples going. Also have a slightly better chance at some reds this game. That was a little bit bait, but I didn't die. That felt like a lot of them. Why is it we don't want harvesting this run? We were under the impression that harvesting was always very good. It was up until about 30 seconds ago. My belief that I could win comfortably without it. This is, like, being a lot harder than I'm expecting it to be. Let's get up towards 60% dodge. Upgrade a Ghost Flint. It's a very decent price to pay for 20 luck. Probably shouldn't have let all those eggs spawn. I don't know though. It's more materials, assuming I don't die. What? And what if I do die? Alright, so Lich died wave 11, tried to 6 times Ghost, and just kinda died. That's a bad build. Hey McQueeb, how are you? Gladiator. Gladiator likes having different weapons, and obviously likes having melee weapons, can't equip ranged weapons. I assume I start Ghost Axe. Ghost Axe or Ghost Flint seem like the logical ones to start. SD, thanks to 28 months, appreciate it. Have I beaten the game with defect out? I don't think anyone has. Take harvesting early. Grab this. I'm gonna take a rock because it costs 12. I don't really have any intention to keep it, but you know, it costs 12. Stick also costs 12. Do you love my ethereal weapons? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Can't believe Lich died. I'm actually gonna roll for harvesting here. Being rewarded with a blue ranged damage. Alright. My roll for harvesting has horrendously failed. Some luck. Two melee damage has kind of gotta be good. Okay. Gonna keep taking harvesting. It's a very early riposte. Especially with a minus 20 luck. Maybe it isn't that early. I don't know. It felt like it cost very little. I'm gonna take a bit of HP regen rather than rolling. Jack and Soldier. I did. 6% speed seems like what I need. More harvesting seems good. I can take more melee damage. I can take a hatchet. And a helmet. I'm not going to upgrade my stick because I don't want to keep it. Your boyfriend tells you this is exactly how they agriculture in Australia. Oh yeah. It's called subsistence farming. Yeah. Wave 7 is a little bit Australia, isn't it? .6% dodge, probably not. 15 range? I'm okay with 15 range. I kind of did take HP regen. I think I should be upgrading my weapons like that, rather than, wow, hatchet is not exciting. Rather than going for flat damage at the moment. Hello again, thanks for the 31 months and combos, thanks for the 13 months. I am the wave 9 to your Ghost Scepter loud run. Aw. That's very sweet of you to say. The sound of permanent stat increases. I really want max HP right now. I'll take it. I am kind of buying a lot of flat melee damage. Maybe it's alright, I don't know. Yeah, if you let the eggs hatch, you get a lot more materials. I don't think the eggs give any materials, actually. And the things that hatch out of them give, like, 3 or 5 or something. It is a thing that I do deliberately in some situations. I was not deliberately letting them hatch there, though. Well, it was, like... The ones that hatched, I think I saw hatching and was like, it's too much work to go clear them, I'll just focus on killing stuff and dodge them for the rest of the wave, which is... maybe what you gotta do sometimes. Sure haven't worked out how I'm sustaining yet on this run. How did I win as this character? HP regen? More HP regen? My flat, my percent damage is pretty bad. But I think I just decided I wasn't going for lifesteal. Probably don't lock that. This is Gladiator. Hamburger. Oh. Okay. I mean, I got it. I could take explosion damage for rip and tear later. Or I could not. Getting purples is kind of hard because I have no luck. Could get some luck. Need speed. Let's take some luck. There's definitely some luck and some harvesting. Okay. And this one, I need my range, I think. Let's start setting some shit on fire. Probably cute monkey's fine. Hey, T-Bone Shorty! Cute monkey means I kind of want not pick materials up now. I don't know if this torch is great. It was kind of expensive, and I think a lot of the value of torch is that if you are not one-shotting the small enemies, you can set them all on fire and then just leave. But I'm just one-shotting them all, so it doesn't really have much value. It's not dealing enough damage to the big enemies to actually kill them. Torch isn't a ghost weapon, how good can it be? Yeah. Exactly what I was saying. Stick 2. Rock 3. Wait, Rock 3 gives you armor and max HP. I didn't know that. I had no idea. Does this give you armor? No. That's like a... Wait, so if you have 6 rocks, you get... Wow, you get so much health. Yo, I had no idea. I gotta try 6 rocks sometime. Do I have a favorite character? I don't think I have a favorite character right now. Still learning. I probably need to buy Blood Leech this run. Keep taking some luck, take some knockback. The first time I got hit this entire wave. Felt like a pretty good one. Pretty safe. Let's go 9 max HP. Let's take our free reroll. Another one of these. Sad Tomat. I think we Sad Tomat here. Do you know why the tomato is not happy? Why it is sad? It is because it is not a potato. This is official lore that I am adding to the game right now. It's the only sensible reason, yeah. And the second that you realize it, it's like, oh yeah, of course. It's so hard to ever take dodge. I just don't know how to ever take dodge. Nope. I think this ends up not quite being worth it when it's losing me HP regen. Same with this. Just kind of feels like I must be doing something wrong if I don't get to buy those. I need to ditch the stick and the rock for better weapons. I'm not really, like, seeing the best weapons in the shops. It's on the to-do list. But I would have to actually, like, see something that I felt like buying, and that hasn't really happened. Oh, I caught both of those. An interesting choice. What am I looking for? Probably something that isn't a white item. How about a sword? I'm okay with that. I've also been offered a lot of these, which scale off range to damage. Ow. God, the joy of accepting mediocrity. There's just something so freeing about being like, this is my corner. I will not be leaving this corner. I'm good. This is where I live now. I found a medical saw. Is that good? Hope so. Amzays, thanks for the 5 months. Appreciate it. Uh-huh. Okay. I need these wings. Do I play games for fun when I'm not streaming? Sometimes. I do not generally play the games that I stream when I'm not streaming. And I do try to have, like, other things in my life. But sometimes I play games. I did Old Wolf, and it was really good. Test match cricket. God, these are not it. Take that. Very low econ this run. This actually gained 60 in stats just to white ghost axe. Damn. Mugglings for 9 months. I appreciate it. I have games that I never stream deliberately because I want to keep them to myself. There have been story games that I decided to play offline instead of streaming them. So I guess so. I guess my answer is yes. I feel like this run is a really good test of how little you can have and still win the game. If you just dodge everything that attacks you for, you know, 20 minutes. That's really all you have to do. You just have to dodge everything that attacks you for 20 minutes. Okay, you have to have enough damage to kill the chasers because they keep running faster and faster until they hit you, but other than that... If you can dodge a wrench. More sped. I don't think I'm gonna bother locking that. Why are sharks unlucky? Propaganda. It's propaganda from the sharks, though. It's not anti-shark propaganda. Like, the sharks don't want you to know how lucky they are. What if there were just way more of the ones that shoot at me? Would that be a good thing? Hey, I remember this. This is how I died last time. Same elite wave, right? Was it the same elite? and 1 second again. How many kills on the level 1 ghost stacks? I don't know. I was playing streamer a bit last night. I was going SMG. I think the thing about streamer is like, okay, if you do the math, you get minus 1% damage for every 15 materials you have. 40 times 15 is 600. So if you're moving with 600 materials, you're faster than you would be without the debuffs on a normal character and dealing the same amount of damage. So as long as we like stay below 600 materials, when we're moving, we're actually a stronger character than we would be without any modifiers. Why the SMG? Because it's better than the other guns at not overkilling, I think. Like, it's better at doing this while I stand still. And as the streamer, I want to be able to stand still. I want to roll to look for an SMG to lock, which is kind of weird, but... Ooh, great. That's lucky. Did you just miss a tree, streamer? Ranged damage, sounds good. It's my first level up. Guess I'll take luck. Luck some attack speed. This should be enough for wave 3. Does streamer do bonus damage from moving or still? When moving, you get 40% damage and attack speed. When standing still, you gain 15% materials every second or something. It's not 15%, it's less than that. 3% materials. 3% materials every second, that sounds more reasonable. Take harvesting to take this attack speed and this ranged damage. I want like, oh yeah, yeah, that, okay. Lock this and this and this. .30 range isn't that bad. I don't really want to roll. Take 30 range. Fuck, it turns out I don't want to buy that propeller hat. I'm having trouble getting off the ground here. Small magazine must be good enough to buy. Wave 7 is where things start getting a bit more interesting. Why did I buy a tree? How hard it is for me to, like, go to the trees. It's kind of difficult. That's so early. Okay, I assume I just win now. Today we have asked the question, is Wave 7 Baby with a Beard good? On a character using only ranged weapons? All three of those just missed me. I moved for the last one, but maybe I shouldn't have. I feel like I'm meant to have enough damage to kill these before they get to me, but my damage is just low, I guess. That one was almost, sorry, that one was also missing me, but I walked into it, so good shit. All my problems are caused by moving. Yeah. It's the human condition, right? Ow. Maybe some lifesteal? Maybe some max HP? percent damage is actually pretty good here because I currently have like minus 40%. So it does more than usual. I'm up to 1,000 money somehow. Let's take wheat for the range damage. Let's take this for the range damage. And this for the range damage? Didn't buy any sustain. Didn't buy any percent damage either. Okay, I wanna like stop collecting materials. I'm scared of getting too much higher numbers than this right now.